Here's a little courtship going on between the male. I have two females in with him. One of the females, this one, is got eggs. She's got the vertical and horizontal stripes. And the male hasn't really started building a bubble nest yet, so we're a few days away, although that can happen pretty quickly. The other female is here. They're fighting a little bit, which sounds bad, but I want them to be a little bit aggressive with each other because I think it helps condition them. And but this female is ahead. They're both getting gravid, but this one has got the egg spot and the male's displaying to her. But he hasn't started building a bubble nest yet, but that's bound to happen pretty soon. And this is the first fish, the female that's right there with him. That's the one that he'll mate with first. And then I'll put a barrier up in this tank, and then I'll mate him on the other side to the other female, and then put this female in a recovery tank. But this male looks really good and ready to go, but I need to get him to be building a bubble nest. This female doesn't look like it, but she's an emerald green dragon. I know she looks very red right now, but she just arrived from Thailand yesterday, but she's in great shape and ready to breed, I think. The other female is not far behind. She's also a dragon scale, but she's hard to see. She's a pastel violet color. But these are the ones that will breed together first, if it's meant to be. We'll have to see if nature takes its course. But this is all part of the important kind of bonding and getting the biology going. Look, when he flares those extra set of gills that are really ornamental to make him look bigger, it's got orange spots on them. I just noticed that. That's pretty interesting. So he's very interested in this female, but now he's got to get to the business of building a bubble nest. In order for him to do that, I'll put her in a little jar so he can still visit her, but then he's got to get to work on the nest. Back in this tank, we have the male from, I can't let him free. This is the father of all of these fry. I can't let him loose because he'll just drive himself nuts chasing after all of his babies. Recall that this male was bred to two different females, the same deal that I'm doing here on this side with a male and two females. I did that with this male, and these are all the babies that resulted from those two broods. But if I let him free in the tank, he'd go kind of crazy, chasing them around. And but I refresh his water every few hours, so he's in good shape. He's only been in there not even an hour, and I'll eventually move him to this little tank when I get that conditioned the way I want. But these guys are growing beautifully. There's all kinds of different colors of offspring, considering that there were two different females like there will be on this other side. But some are very blue and iridescent, some are like the father, darker blue. I like this one a lot. He's very iridescent, and they're all over the tank. They're doing a great job feeding wherever they want. And there's some nice little red ones too, which are like right there. Anyway, and there's a blue and red, and some of them are quite large. These are 2 months old, these babies. So back to this action over here. Lots of good activity. This is all good flaring and displaying. The tanks are in great shape. I keep them quite warm. And I just need him to start building a bubble nest. I put a little piece of bubble wrap in there to kind of inspire him a little. I don't know. I heard somebody did that. And I did it with the other male, and it seemed to... See, the 2 females, they'll chase each other too. If that gets too aggressive, I'll put one in the jar for a little bit, float the jar like this guy, and to calm things down. But I do keep an eye on it and make sure that nobody's getting hurt and all the breeding. And I think it kind of helps to kind of pull the females away and let the male display on the outside of the tank. So that's the setup here right now. Water's really nicely conditioned. I'm doing pretty, 20% changes of water every 3 or 4 days. And everybody seems pretty happy. And I also test the water for ammonia, nitrates, pH. Everything's very good, very low. And when I set the tanks up, I use spring water that I buy in jugs. But once they're established and the fish are pretty used to it, I just use tap water. I just put it in a jug and let it sit for a few days, get to room temperature, and then I use that to top off the tanks. So that's the update. Everything seems to be going pretty good, and I'll keep you posted. Bye-bye.